Hey guys, welcome to another video, and I know it's been a while. 2021. 2021 has been that sort of year where it's a start and stop kind of thing due to the movement control order here in Malaysia. Only recently that things have gone positive in a good way, not in the number of cases, but yeah. So today we're going to be doing a lens review, and this lens has been notoriously known in the YouTube world to be, where YouTube reviews are saying, stay away from this lens. But today, let's revisit this lens and let's try put a positive spin to it and, give it some encouragement, yeah? So the lens that I'm going to be reviewing today is the Samyang AF 15mm f1.4 FE, which is for the Sony full frame camera, or 75mm equivalent on APS-C. By the time of this review, this lens is already 4 years old and Samyang's first ever AF lens for the Sony system. As you can see, it's not the smallest lens when side by side with the Fuji 35mm f2. But yeah, the 50mm is known to be the closest to what your eyes sees. That pretty much, gives you an idea of what you can shoot with it. Basically, everything that you see. Food, landscape, architecture, travel, street, and like your eyes, you just move your feet to zoom in or zoom out, yeah? It's probably the second most recommended lens after the kit lens, yeah? But before we begin, let's get a few things out of the way, alright? This lens makes a sound when it focuses, but not like Canon's old nifty 50 Mark II. It isn't the sharpest wide open like Sigma or Zeiss lenses, and it's not weather sealed with a rubber gasket. So why should it be considered? First of all, when we stack it up against Sony's 50mm options, an aperture of f1.4, there's the Sigma, there's the Zeiss 50 f1.4, and that's pretty much it. So when we're talking about the weight, Sigma is by far the heaviest amongst the three lenses, whereas the Samyang is the lightest. Now, second thing that I think that's important is price. Samyang is the cheapest, where Sigma is sort of in between, and the Zeiss, you pretty much can buy two of these, yeah? With all of the specs pretty much, almost similar to each other, with the minimum focusing distance of 0.45 meters. Specs aside, let's take a look at some image samples. So, like I mentioned before, it's not the sharpest wide open, and I believe sharpness isn't the whole story. Like previous Samyang lenses I've tested before, this 50mm has character and tells more of story in an image rather than just, I'm sharp, the end, that kind of story. That's boring, So for those who've tried GM lenses, there's that distinct look you get, and Samyang provides that, but at half the price, So I've had the lens from version 32, and recently I had it updated to the latest one, which is version 33. I would say from my perspective and experience, the AF has become more confident and sure of itself. Like in version 32, it'd be like questioning itself, like, should I focus here or there, And in version 33, it's more of like, I know this is where you want to focus, human. That sort of confidence that it just gives you, when you try to focus. And with video, it's got that gradual focus into the subject rather than, that instant lock-on to subjects, yeah? And I believe when it's gradual, it adds that cinematic value in a sense. I don't know, tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. It locks on pretty well too. I shot the review of the 85 f1.4 with this lens and it didn't wander off. So that's pretty good. So there you have it. That's my little review of the Samyang 50mm f1.4 for the Sony E-mount. So it was their first autofocusing lens for the Sony system, and I think we gotta give them credit where it's due, because if they didn't, start off with this lens, photographers like me wouldn't have that affordable platform to dive into the Sony full frame system, and that's the really good thing about, having competition and options for you in a system. yeah? But if I were to be honest, Samyang has made leaps in terms of technology since the first release of this lens. And I believe it calls for a Mark II version, or even better, a 50mm f1.2, which would really be a good option to have, since Sony is rumored to be coming out with a 50 f1.2 GM. So having a cheaper alternative with Samyang's latest autofocusing system and also the tiny series concept, I think it's going to be amazing if they do come out with, with that version in the near future, hopefully. So I would like to thank today's sponsor, not sponsor, but I would like to thank Samyang Optics Malaysia and Futuromic AV for providing me this lens to sort of, review for the past couple of months actually. Yeah, it's been a great experience with this lens, and I can't wait to see what Samyang has in store for us, yeah? So if you'd like to get one for yourself, or if you're considering other Samyang lenses, don't worry about, updating your firmware, because Futuromic provides that service for you for free for those who buy Samyang lenses that are distributed in Malaysia, all right? So link in the description below, and yeah, give them a follow on Instagram. Final words from me, less critique and enjoy photography more. All right, take care. Bye-bye.